Hey guys, Amber here. Hope you guys are having a great day. It just stopped storming here not too long ago. It's been storming for the majority of the day, which is fine. I believe we needed some rain. Um, but I wanted to come on here because I've been reading a lot of comments over people complaining about, oh, minimum wage is not high enough and we need to raise it, and my job just doesn't pay me enough, blah, 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 blah. Well, if you want more money, maybe you should go get the training to get you qualified for a higher paying position. And quit begging for the minimum wage to go up. Because apparently, what you losers do not understand is that when minimum wage goes up, everything else goes up. Because they have to sustain their employees too. They have to pay the stockers, they have to pay the managers, the dishwashers in restaurants, the cooks. So when everything else goes up, they have to accommodate that as well. And then you want to sit there and complain about prices being high. Well, prices are high because you losers want the minimum wage to be high. If minimum wage was lower, your prices would not be so high. Makes sense? I think so. So when you go and ask for minimum wage to be higher, you are asking for the prices to go up. That's what happens when minimum wage goes up. If I was able to, in a position where I could be in control of that, I would lower the minimum wage back to $7.25 an hour, and it would be a national thing across the board. California, Michigan, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, Ohio would all have $7.25 an hour minimum wage. That is all that a burger flipper deserves to get. It is not hard to go work at McDonald's and flip burgers. It is not hard to bag groceries. Okay? So I believe if you want a higher wage than where you're currently at, work your butt off and earn it. Stop expecting it to be handed to you. Because people are tired of paying these high prices just because you're a selfish little prick who wants higher minimum wage. So think about that when you want a higher minimum wage. When you raise that minimum wage, everything else goes up, and that's just how it is. We can't keep affording to push minimum wage up. It needs to be lowered. That's how you get prices down. Quit asking for over $10 an hour to flip a dang hamburger at McDonald's. Any idiot can flip a hamburger at McDonald's. My 7-year-old can freaking work at McDonald's flipping hamburgers. And he's 7. Going into 2nd grade. He could do that. It doesn't take rocket science to work at McDonald's. It doesn't take rocket science to wash dishes in a restaurant. If you want more pay, that's why you go to school or hands-on training facility. Also, I would get rid of the universities because they're nothing but a bunch of money mongers that don't do anything for you. Yes, you get a piece of paper, whoop-de-doo, with your name on it. Then you graduate and you can't find a job. Then you wasted all that money. So there's no point in universities at all because they don't do anything good for this country at all. I would get rid of all universities and put in place trade schools, technical institutions, where you can get hands-on learning at more affordable prices. And you are more likely to get a job going out of a trade school than you are if you're coming out of a university, because you've had that hands-on training. Where if you come out of a university, you haven't had the hands-on training. So an employer's going to look at you and be like, okay, you did all this, great, but where's your hands-on training? They're not going to look at that. They don't care how big of a math problem you can do. So I'd get rid of all universities would be gone, put in place by trade schools. I would lower the minimum wage, because you don't need any more than $7.25 an hour to flip a hamburger. I'm sorry, or to stock shelves. Once again, I have done dishes, I have stocked shelves, and I have flipped hamburgers. The job's not that difficult, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't take rocket science to do that. So yeah, the minimum wage needs to actually be lowered. When you lower minimum wage, then everything else goes along with it. So I am so sick of hearing you stupid Democrats complain about, oh, prices are so high and Trump's doing this. No. President Trump has nothing to do with the price increase. Why? Because it's all about that minimum wage. You lower that minimum wage and you're going to see your prices drop. And that's just a fact. That's just a fact. President Trump has nothing to do with that. And you're going to say, but you complained when Biden was in office. Yeah, because Biden's a freaking prick and wants the minimum wage raised. Any Democrats dumb enough, they don't understand anything. They want that minimum wage raised. They're that stupid that they don't realize when you raise that minimum wage, everything else goes up. That's what causes your prices to plummet. Go up or go down, I'm sorry. You need to lower that minimum wage. You do not deserve even $10 an hour. You do not deserve $10 an hour to work at McDonald's. No, thank you. You do not deserve $10 an hour to bag groceries or to wash dishes. It's not that big of a deal. Oh, but that's not fair, you say? It's not fair to the people who are having to buy items at the prices because your selfish little self wants your minimum wage higher. I don't want to hear a single one stupid Democrat complain about prices being up when you're the ones wanting minimum wage to go up. Because that's what happens, ladies and gentlemen, when that minimum wage goes up. That price goes up. Drop the minimum wage all the way down to $7.25 an hour, and you're going to see prices plummet. Plummet. If you want more money, then go get training to get more money. Work hard at your job to get that promotion and that pay raise. Quit being lazy. But we all know that won't happen from the Democratic Party because they're a bunch of moochers who don't want to work for anything. They're just sitting there spitting out kid after kid after kid after kid to get that assistance. And another thing, I would make it a limit if you are on any type of public assistance like food stamps, anything. You can only have 2 children. 2. If you have more than that, the child gets taken away from you. Bye-bye. Because people are only having these children to get more money from the government. These children are being used as pawns, and it's sick. You can only have 2 kids when you're on assistance, and that's it. That's all. Any more, then CPS come get them. Take them away from you. Because you don't deserve any more children. You can't even afford to feed yourself. You don't deserve any more kids. They'd be taken away from you. There would be a 2 children limit. Yep. No more freebies. Because that's the only reason that you people are having kids anyway. You're using them as your little pawns. You don't love them. You're using them. You like the idea of them. You like the money they bring in. They're your little chess pieces. You can't even take care of them properly. But you like that check, so you're having more of them. If you aren't working and you can work, you need all of your assistance taken away from you. Your food stamps, everything, because you don't deserve it, because you sure as hell haven't paid into it. You need it taken away from you. If you haven't paid into it, goodbye. Figure it out. The government was not meant to be your mother. If you can work but aren't working, it needs to be taken away from you. Every single penny. And that's for sure what the hell I would do. Y'all lucky I'm not in charge of it. You guys would not know what to do with yourselves. With no food stamps, no welfare, any of that crap. And that's a whole nother basket of worms. Welfare should have been gotten rid of long ago. The only reason welfare came about was because of the Great Depression. That's the only reason welfare came about. It was not meant to be a permanent thing. It was supposed to be temporary. It was never meant to be permanent. You ought to be ashamed of yourself if you're on it. Go get a job. How about that? Make your own money. Learn what it feels like to be a taxpayer. Learn what it feels like to pay a bill that you've earned. Pay that bill from the money you've earned. Democrats are nothing but lazy moochers. That's all you are. You're lazy. And you're incompetent. If you can't go fill a job application out, you haven't, because you're too freaking lazy to, you're an idiot. And your wealth, everything should be taken from you. Everything. They need to have in place where they can find out if you're able to work and are just choosing not to work. And if they find out you're able to work a full-time job, then they need to kick your little butt off of the system. Because there are a lot of people who actually need the help and are actually working part-time jobs, unlike you, that can't get it. Yes, I'm on food stamps, but I'm working a part-time job. So I'm paying into my food stamps. I'm pretty much paying myself. If you can't pay taxes, if you're not working to pay into taxes, you don't deserve anything. Nothing. Nothing. But you want to sit there and complain about Trump. Why? Because he wants you to work and not rely on the government? You should be proud to have a president who doesn't want people to rely on the government. You should be proud of that. But these stupid Democrats like Obama have told you losers that that's normal. And so you think that's how it works. That's not normal. It's called lazy. Obama wouldn't know nothing about work because he sure as hell didn't do anything for 8 years. And neither did Brandon. That stinking sick bastard. So, minimum wage should be lowered, $7.25 an hour. If you want more money, then you go advance yourself. You go better yourself to get more money. And I guarantee you will feel 100 times better about yourself than you do now. You are allowing the government to tell you that you're stupid. That's pretty much what you're doing. Which does make you stupid, actually. You're proving to the rest of us how stupid you actually are. So it's time, Democrats, if you are able-bodied, to get off your lazy little butts and go get a job. Quit mooching. Try to get off of assistance rather than get on assistance. Teach your children better. Because none of you who are on assistance are very good examples to your kids. I feel so bad for your kids, it's not even funny. And they're just being used as pawns in a chess game. Quit using your children for your own advantage. That's not why children were meant to be here. Quit teaching them wrong. Teach them to go work hard, to better themselves, and to not rely on government handouts like you do. Have a good day, guys.